What if I told you that someone can start feeling attracted to you or you to them before you even consciously realize why? Crazy, right? We love to think we're in complete control of our feelings and our choices, but science actually suggests something entirely different. Our brains are basically working overtime behind the scenes, forming these deep impressions and calculating compatibility almost instantly before we've even said hello.
Section 1, Top of the Funnel, Fast First Impressions. Okay, let's dive into this.
Widest, most immediate layer of connection. Think about what's happening within literally seconds of meeting someone. Your brain acts like a supercomputer. It's instantly processing facial expressions, the openness of body language, tone of voice, immediate behavior. It is incredibly fast. Actually, to put that into perspective, it takes the human brain just 1/10 of a second to judge someone's trustworthiness from their face alone. 1/10 of a second. So a genuine smile or a relaxed, friendly posture sends this immediate split-second signal saying, hey, this person is safe, this person is engaging. These rapid-fire calculations ultimately dictate whether we're going to keep talking to someone or, politely walk away.
Section 2, Layer 2, The Power of Familiarity. So I want you to think about your own lived experience for a sec. Have you ever developed feelings for a classmate, a coworker, or maybe just someone you bump into at the local coffee shop every morning? Someone who, maybe didn't exactly catch your eye on day one, but over time you just felt this connection growing. It's an incredibly common scenario, for sure, and there's actually a very specific psychological reason for it.
Psychologists call this the mirror exposure effect. Basically, when we encounter someone frequently in positive or even just totally neutral situations, they become familiar to us. And to the human brain, familiarity equals comfort. Now, this doesn't mean that simply standing next to someone every single day guarantees a romance, obviously not, but it severely lowers the barrier to entry. Familiarity builds a baseline of psychological comfort, which makes social connections and attraction much, much easier to build.
Section 3, Layer 3, Traits that Sustain Attraction.
All right, so we've moved past the initial spark and the comfort of familiarity. Now we really need to debunk a massive myth. We have all heard the phrase opposites attract, right? And sure, differences can absolutely be novel and exciting in the short term. But the fact is, similar people connect on a lasting level. The research consistently shows that long-term relationships thrive on shared values, similar life goals, and compatible communication styles. When you fundamentally understand someone's beliefs and priorities, building deep trust becomes infinitely easier. Another absolutely massive trait here is confidence, but we really need to define what that actually means, because there is a sharp contrast between loud, validation-seeking behavior and the calm magnetism of true confidence. True confidence is simply feeling comfortable with yourself. It's maintaining healthy eye contact, communicating calmly, and showing self-respect. When you possess that kind of true confidence, it acts like a magnet, because it naturally makes other people feel relaxed and comfortable around you. So the crucial takeaway is this. While physical looks might grab someone's attention initially, kindness is what actually keeps it. Think about key traits like empathy, honesty, generosity, and emotional support. These are the absolute bedrock of lasting attraction. People naturally gravitate toward, and more importantly, stay with, those who make them feel genuinely respected and valued. But, there's also a bit of a psychological hook we should mention here. Our brains love a puzzle. If you spill your entire life story in the first 10 minutes, well, there's no puzzle left to solve. A little bit of mystery, learning about someone layer by layer over time, keeps conversations highly engaging. Now, obviously, this has to be balanced with honesty and mutual respect, but leaving a little room for discovery, that is a real game changer in attraction. Section 4, Layer 4, the brain's reward system. Now, what's really interesting about this whole process is how it maps the physical architecture of our minds. In those first few seconds, it's all fast facial processing. But over weeks of familiarity and positive interactions, your brain actually starts releasing dopamine, the chemical associated with pleasure and motivation. You are quite literally getting a chemical reward for spending time with this person. Then, over months and years, entirely different brain systems involved in deep social bonding take over to strengthen that connection. It's just a beautiful chemical evolution from instant pleasure to long-term trust. Section 5, the core, emotional safety. We have officially reached the absolute deepest part of the cognitive chemistry equation. Perhaps the most powerful factor in attraction isn't appearance at all, it's emotional safety.
Just let that sink in for a second. When you truly understand the science of human connection, you realize that physical appearance completely pales in comparison to the fundamental human need to feel secure with another person. And this brilliantly illustrates what true emotional safety actually means in practice. It comes down to four main things: feeling unconditionally accepted, deeply understood, fundamentally respected, and most importantly, able to be your completely authentic self without any fear of judgment. These four pillars naturally pave the way for open communication, allowing you to bypass all those surface-level interactions and forge the deepest possible connections. So let's tie the whole shebang together across these three phases. When you break it down, there is no single magical secret formula to human attraction. It's actually a brilliant, complex interplay of psychology all working together. You've got the surface phase, driven by first impressions, leading to split-second interest. Then there's the middle phase, driven by familiarity and shared traits creating sustained comfort. And finally, the core phase, driven by emotional safety, which results in a lasting bond and real trust. Now, understanding this cognitive chemistry isn't some sort of mind control trick. It's not going to magically force someone to fall in love with you. But what it does do is empower you. It gives you the blueprint to move beyond, superficial dating advice and actually build connections that are rooted in authentic respect, healthy communication, and undeniable psychological comfort. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought today. Try looking at the people around you through this new psychological lens. Ask yourself, who in your life makes you feel genuinely emotionally safe? Think about it, because those are the connections truly worth investing your energy into. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found this breakdown of human behavior valuable, make sure to subscribe so you never miss our future deep dives into the science of how we think, feel, and connect. See you next time.